You don't want to have that.
It's on! Hey everyone, welcome to another edition of Disney Parks Talk Live, the weekly show in which Doobie, Rebecca, Mike Celestino, and Jeremiah talk about the week in Disney theme park news, keep you up to date on what's going on in the world of Disney parks. As I said, my name is Doobie Mosley. I am the co-founder of Laughing Place, the host of the show, along with my wife over there, Rebecca Mosley. How you doing, Rebecca?
I'm doing well, honey. How about you? I know you didn't get much sleep.
I am working on about 3 hours of sleep here, yet I feel fantastic, just fine. Down there, we've got Mike Celestino, who handles Southern California theme parks and all things Star Wars. I believe tomorrow you actually start rowing towards London. Is that true, Mike?
Yes, it takes 6 days to row there, so I'll be there on Sunday.
Awesome. Mike Celestino. And the fourth member of our team is on vacation. He is not joining us today, but he has sent us something to remember him by. Jeremiah Good, fresh off his appearance in the Boysenberry Pie Festival, which we'll be talking about later on with Mike, sends us his salutations and arubidations. So thank you, Jeremiah, for not being here today. I mean, you know what I mean. That's not quite what I meant. That would have been fantastic. All right, so let's get started. Obviously, we are live, so if you guys want to participate, if you have any questions, any comments, anything you want us to talk about, whether it's on our agenda or not, use the comments. We love to go off on tangents as long as I'm out of here within an hour. All right, first up, let's talk about this morning's semi-ish breaking news, and that is the Avengers Campus merchandise location coming. The big news about this, I think, is that walls are going to be going up around, or have gone up. Jeremiah went down there today. They've gone up around Avengers HQ, and it is not because they have started construction on the attraction there. So we're making sure that people don't think that this is a new merchandise location that will be coming to Avengers Campus. It does not mean that the new attraction is not coming. It just means this is not the new attraction. So fun stuff coming, Mike.
And the merchandise location is going to be around the side of the building there?
And based on, well, you don't want the merchandise location to be in the building because someday that'll be like a big new attraction, right? I mean, that's where the Quinjet's going, or what did they announce is going there now?
The battle for the multiverse or something with King Thanos? I don't know.
I know. No one gets that Marvel stuff. They just make it up as they go along. People talk about Lost. Marvel is like a whole different level of making it up as it goes along. Other news over at Hollywood Studios in Florida. Roundup Rodeo Barbecue has opened. Not a big ceremony for their opening. They did a media event with Tron a couple weeks ago where people got to try it, but they had a little ceremony with the cast and Disney World ambassadors to open it up, a little ribbon cutting, and people have been eating there, and I've heard some good stuff about what it's like there. I hope I get a chance to eat there when we go back in a week or so. Looks like a lot of fun. They do have a plant-based platter. Go ahead.
Our friend and LP watcher, Gio, he's going to be heading to barbecue. I'm looking forward to his review of it. Interested to see what he thinks. So, yay for rodeo.
Rodeo looks like a fun place to go too. Just looking at the interior of it and the theming that the cast has and all that. It looks like a nice, fun, highly themed table service restaurant inside the theme park. That's what you love. I had a couple of very wonderful inside theme park dining experiences I may talk about later if I get the chance, but go ahead.
And Mike, I know it's on the other coast, but have you been following any of the imagery coming out on rodeo at all? Roundup Rodeo Barbecue?
I saw one video of the yelling Andy's coming.
Is this the kind of place that would go on your let me give it a try list?
Yeah, I'd like to try it. Yeah, I like barbecue. I like Toy Story. This is a good combo. I'd like to try it next time I'm there.
I love barbecue, so I'm really excited about this location and eager to try it. Sounds like fun. I'm a little worried about I like theme park dining that like is a less chaotic. Typically, is where I gravitate towards. So places like Coral Reef Cafe. This is where I want to dine. Not Doobie was a fan of like he would drag us off to Whispering Canyon, and I'm like that's not what I want for my like meal time. I need a break. I need my pacing to kind of slow down a little bit. I'm trying to think at Disneyland. What would I compare it to?
Yeah, I mean,
Most of
I
the
like to
places
eat
that
on the Hungry Bear Cafe over
yeah,
there by the river. It's nice
yep.
and
You're not
quiet.
you're not like a Goofy's Kitchen or the old Ed DeBevick's kind of immerse me when I go eat.
I mean,
No.
when I was growing up, there's a theme restaurant in New York called Jekyll and Hyde. That was like a horror themed restaurant. It was totally chaotic, but I loved that. That was great.
Okay, Mike likes this chaos.
I
It's
see.
fun. I like fun. Hey, remember when we went to Garden Grill and they thought they were a themed restaurant?
Okay, it was so awkward. Are you familiar with Garden Grill, Mike?
No, I don't think so.
It's the place that's inside the land
Oh,
pavilion
yes, the one that
and that
rotates.
slowly
Yep.
rotates.
Hmm.
Yeah. So it's it tends to be like family style food. So they'll like bring out a platter that they then refill, and it's a little slower pace. I found it to be a little slower pace, and it would have was it character dining for certain meals back then? I think it was like,
I
but not
think it's
all
been,
meals.
I think it's been for all meals for quite a while, but
Okay, so
I could
all
be wrong.
meals. Well, for whatever reason, our server was totally acting like we were at the Primetime Cafe, like insulting people who weren't eating their food and all that kind. And it really put off one of the members in our party. It made them extremely uncomfortable. They like to the point of emotional breakdown. It was so awkward. I was like,
Thought it was
yeah,
pretty funny. I
it
mean,
was a
not the emotional
moment.
breakdown,
No,
the rest
because
I
they
thought was
did
that was funny.
the cast member did not at all read the room right. That it was
Yeah.
not going over well with one of the people in our party. We kept trying, trying to intercede, trying to help, but nope. So yeah, it ended up being one of those memories that will last forever within the family. But you were just in Epcot, Doobie, and you got to check out
Yeah.
some new stuff. So I'll let you talk about the glorious walkway.
So yeah, I was in Epcot on Wednesday, about to leave, when I got a note saying, "Hey, there's a new walkway over by the entrance, so go check it out." And I went to check it out, and the problem is I don't go to Epcot very often, so I really wasn't sure what was new and what wasn't. So I just took pictures of everything and left it to the folks back home to put it together. So I am right now finding out exactly what the new part was. Oh yeah, I remember this. Okay. Yeah, so honestly, I'm not sure why you would take this walkway. Maybe they're going to close off the other one because the other one is like a more straightforward way to the same location. But you do get a nice view of Journey of Water construction, and it's just nice to have some more open space in this area because everything is so walled off at the entrance to Epcot, and getting around is so interesting. Yeah, exactly, Kyle. Put them in a folder that totally worked with no issues. After being in the field for 4 days, I have a new respect for the technical difficulties you guys all have to put up with trying to get your images and videos from the field to the team back home. Like it is a pain in the butt, and I respect you all for figuring out a way.
Oh, I've yelled at Google Drive so many times.
You know
Doobie
what's
was
going to happen? You know what's going to happen because I had to do it. Now I'm going to figure out a better way to do it for the rest of you guys.
By the way, that is an insider tip that I should have shared with all of the LP team a long time ago. If there is a certain aspect of your job that is annoying you terribly, figure out a reason for Doobie to have to do it for a short period of time, and then all of a sudden it will be totally different. That is both a blessing and a curse because when it was just back in the day when it was Doobie and I doing most of the work, if I got sick for a couple of days, I would have to get totally retrained on my job when I would come back because he would have totally
But
revamped everything. It was
and
better.
made it more efficient, more efficient.
More efficient.
So that Epcot, Epcot's such a fun place to be. Although you know what? So here's the deal. On the Thursday, Friday, Saturday. It was actually Saturday. I know I'd get to the day eventually. I went to Epcot. I wanted to get as many steps as I could. So I actually walked World Showcase once in the morning and again in the afternoon. In the morning, it was fantastic. I'm like, how do I ever doubt that this is Disney's best park? This is just such a dreamy place to be. I'm having the time of my life walking through the countries. This is awesome. And then I went back in the afternoon and I'm like, they have just ruined this place with all the drunks and the drinking and the t-shirts and the adults. I hate it. I hate it. So I'm still back to where I was when I started. It is such a different experience once the drinking starts. It's really, I mean, I'm joking, but it's really sad how different Epcot becomes once the drinking starts. So anyway.
I said to Tori recently, I want to try to make like increasingly more absurd t-shirts to wear to the park and see like how far I could get before they stop me. Like I want to make one that says like I'm a miserable person and I hate my family, and just like keep building there.
Wow.
So I feel like that's what they're going for, right? Like this whole like most expensive day ever thing, and
yeah. Anyway.
Hopping over
Let's
to
see.
Magic Kingdom fireworks.
You take charge.
The Main Street projections. We have received a few preview images of how Happily Ever After will be viewed from Main Street. A little bit of the magic happening down there.
Can I take a moment based on Gio's? I'm sorry, this show is going to be so off the rails today because I just came back from Disney World and I have stuff to say. So forgive me. So our media for the Disney Dreamers Academy event I was at was not normal Disney media. It was a very little bit of Disney media and then a lot of black media. Disney Dreamers Academy is mostly minority children, and they really gear it towards the black community. So there's a lot of black media there. And one of my favorite things, there was a black media person there who also is a big Disney fan. She's an influencer, and she was telling us about how she was hanging out at Epcot with a bunch of people who didn't know Disney at all and kind of showing them around and stuff. And she took them to Beverly, and how much fun it was to get these people who had no idea to all try Beverly. And warms my heart. Okay, continue. I'm sorry.
Oh man, now I'm thinking next year if they are kind enough to invite you back for Dreamers Academy, you totally need to do that, to get the Dreamers over at Club Cool. That would be such a fun video.
Dreamers try a thing, and then I'll try Beverly.
That'd be such a hoot.
All right. Back to the regularly scheduled program.
Do you remember trying Beverly, Mike C., or is that not something Mike has done?
I don't think I've ever had it. No.
Oh, shh, don't tell him about it.
It's on the list.
I definitely know about it. I haven't tried it.
Well, no, yeah, even if you know it's striking, it still doesn't prepare you.
Dirty socks. I now know what it's like to take dirty socks and wring them through water and put it in a cup and drink.
No,
it's called Beverly.
By the way, some people actually like it, Mike, so it can't be that bad. So here's a couple more images. Obviously, we've got a roundup of a few of them over on Laughing Place, so be sure to check that out if you want a sneak peek. But if you're like Jeremiah and don't want to be spoiled, then you can wait and then look at them later.
April 3rd, this debuts at Magic Kingdom. Happily Ever After, not debuts, returns to Magic Kingdom, but the Main Street projections are debuting. The fireworks show overall is returning. There we go.
On Mike's side of the world, the Disneyland Resort Magic Key holders can get a new print. It's a limited time. It's one of those, we'll have it available until it's no longer available releases, I guess, over there at Disneyland Resort to celebrate the reopening of Toontown. It's kind of cute. I like this.
It's adorable. Have you gotten one, Mike?
No, it hadn't started last time I was there, and I don't have any reservations. I think my next time going is going to be for Throwback Night, which is like mid to late April. So
oh, wow.
I don't know if I'll be able to get one.
Oh, but you're going to be in London in between.
He's traveling.
Yeah.
He's Mr. European traveler.
Row, row, row your boat. Thanks, Nick. Appreciate the compliment.
The real world news is man, this is disappointing, and so I can't even imagine the dynamic of having to deal with this, to be honest. Iger has announced the 7,000 positions are going to be eliminated, and that's going to start this week. And he said that some of those will be happening now. So it's just such I don't know. It's an interesting time within Disney. Our CEO at Laughing Place popped onto the morning show to discuss it just briefly. This seems to indicate to him that we're looking at some more substantial reorganizations going on, right? Right, DB?
Yeah, the fact that they're not just announcing it all now, but they're putting it off till announcing that they will come out, up through summer, in his mind is an indication that this just isn't eliminating positions, but this is also a bigger reorganization happening, and therefore they can't just give a big list at this point. So we shall see if that's the case. But wow, and again, obviously everyone is very important, but it is important to remember this is 7,000 positions, not 7,000 people. Some of these positions are currently open positions, so. Not 7,000. 7,000 people are not going to lose their job. We don't know what that actual number will be, but it is a distinction that is not, that is not
okay.
unimportant. Yes.
Yeah, no, I get you. But right. Wow, and I'm with Gio here. It's like it's awkward to be on a road and to not know if that road is about to become a dead end. And you're like, you keep passing these off ramps. You're like, should I take it? That would be hard, especially if you really love what you're doing. Which for so many people, being a Disney cast member, Disney employee is like part of who you are because that's why they're there.
Yeah, like I mentioned this morning, the event I was at had lots of breakfasts and lunches where you spent a lot of time around cast because there are tons of cast there to help out with the event from all over Disney who then volunteer to help for this event. And so you get to talk to them a lot. And these are people that love Disney. They're choosing to try to help out with something like this. And they love the company, and to realize looking around here that some of these people are about to find out that, their dream, at least for now, is going to be put on pause. It's just such a sad thing, they're real people behind all this, and it hurts.
But as you mentioned, in some cases, hopefully they'll be able to find other places to land.
For sure.
Within the company as well. So
and oftentimes
it's just an odd time though, because like you say, it's the reorganization. That's an interesting experience to go through within a company.
And oftentimes in the past when they've done these, many of the people have come back. Eventually they ramp up again, and if they're not fired, they're certainly welcome back, to try to come back. So, but for now, especially for now, while it's unknown, just the unknown for so many people right now, what a horrible situation to work in, both personally as well as just the morale of your department. Wow. Yep. Whoop 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 whoop. Let's move on.
Yeah, I know, right? That's our transition to frivolous again. And yes, in this case, it's the fact the more stuff happening at Disneyland with the Disney 100. They've got a guided tour that's coming starting on April 7th. Details about the tour are offered in the write-up, but among them that caught my eye is they have what are you looking? Oh, I know, he's grabbing.
I feel like he's like dabbing, and I want to.
No. He's grabbing the bubbles. But you'll tour Buena Vista Street, the Animation Academy. You also tour Main Street, Opera House. So it's a combination of Disneyland Park and Disneyland California Adventure, because they're using that Walt's history and the entire history of the Disney company going back 100 years. So a real focus on kind of that animation aspect that you can explore both there at California Adventure and then over at Disneyland Resort. And so that's really the focus of this tour, celebrating Disney 100.
Have you ever taken a guided tour at Disney, Mike?
Yeah, I did one recently, actually. It was called Walt's Main Street. And it's the one that ended up in the apartment above the fire station.
Nice.
It was fun.
I can't believe I've still never been to that apartment.
I was going to say, I think we need to book that one before we move back to the other coast, because we haven't done the Walt's apartment yet.
That is so wrong that I've never been there, that we've never been there. Do they know who we are?
Yes.
Just kidding. I know we're nobody. Goodness, I'm
That's
kidding.
why we haven't been there. No, full out.
Hey, in better corporate news, Walt Disney World and the unions have reached an agreement on a cast member pay increase. They've been going back and forth for a while. Last I saw, before I left on my trip, they were at an impasse, but all is well. They've agreed on what that increase should be. There will be no labor situation this contract roll around. You can read all the details if you love numbers at this link, which is right now in your chat. Let's see.
Mike, did you pick up your copy of the music from Mickey's Toontown? It's available on all sorts of streaming services.
I did not download it, but I certainly heard it in the park, and I enjoyed many of the tracks that were included. I heard the DuckTales theme. There's a couple songs in there by my favorite band, They Might Be Giants, who used to work with Disney on their kids' albums and contributed to the Disney Junior stuff. But yeah, just it's a good selection.
Yeah, I heard some of it. I still haven't pulled up the Spectrum song to listen to that from the way it's performed over there in Mickey's Toontown. But a few of these are really, it's so pleasant. It's just like Gio says, it's a fun soundtrack. It's like, apparently he likes the Happy Place song. But I have to admit, when I hear this music, I think of picnics. And I mean, I guess that really fits the environment. But when I threw it on the other day, because it's on YouTube Music, I was like, this makes me want to grab a picnic blanket and have a picnic.
I still don't know how you say picnic with 2 syllables. It's not possible.
I know it's picnic.
Just rolls off the tongue. Mike, do you agree that the tune? Did you not? Do you agree? But could you tell that the Toontown music had been made a little more sedate, a little less frenetic as the prior Toontown music?
Yeah, I think I noticed that. In addition to some of the land being simplified and made a little bit more digestible, it made sense that they would calm the music down a little bit to go with that as well.
Let's see. Next up, let's talk about food. Starting at Epcot, where breakfast and lunch are returning to Akershus Royal Banquet Hall on May 14th in the Norway Pavilion at Epcot. I advise you to go to breakfast because by lunch the drinkers are out and Epcot is not nearly as much fun.
Tony Betty has given us a review of a standout quick service option at Walt Disney World. It's over at Disney Springs. I believe it's called Pepe. And it's by the amazingly terrific Jose Andres. So,
this is not the king prawn.
No, not the king prawn. So you can learn more about that.
Hey, can you scroll? Because I like the picture he has, the third picture, because you can see exactly where this restaurant is. There it is, right across. No, back up. Right across from the M&M store. Because that wall's been there forever, so it's nice to see that it's now open. And and then you know where to go for dessert, right next door.
Okay, this is wild, Doobie. Baseball clay from ESPN Wide World of Sports has been used to create flamingo nests at Animal Kingdom.
Wow, talk about synergy.
Who on our team do you think wrote this? Because check it out. It goes, they are using clay from the pitcher's mound to build flamingo nests, and the results have been a home run.
All right, so I know who wrote this. I can tell who wrote it. So you take a guess.
Well, I want to know if that language was in the press release or if our team came up with that beauty.
I don't know. I don't know. Based on who wrote it, I would guess they came up with it.
There's part of me that wants to. Oh, now I don't have a clue. I'm gonna guess Tony, but I don't have a clue.
Yeah, Tony would have said like scored a goal or something. No, it was written by Mike Mack, who actually knows something about sports. Mike
Mack coming through with the home run.
But yeah, flamingos go together like peanut butter and baseball. But it is Disney has a way of. I mean, I guess this falls under sustainability. You know, using something for more than they like use the frying oil to power their trains at Disneyland or something like that. And this is kind of along the same vein and interesting. What is the title of the person whose job it is to sit around and think, how can we take this and use it over here? And they're going, you know, that Tron has a lot of whatever that it puts out every day. Is there a way we can figure out a way to use that over at Rise of the Resistance somehow? Do you think that's how their job works? Never mind. 3 hours of sleep, peeps. Give me a break.
By the way, in this article, if you can discover why this is such news, because apparently it has led to a very successful breeding dynamic that they had not previously experienced as successfully at Animal Kingdom. So that is why they are so excited about the baseball sleigh. Hey, it's pretty cool. We
Well,
need
so
more
the
flamingos. I love
the model of the story. Never mind. Let's stop right there, Doobie. All right, moving on.
I think Celestino may know a little bit about this. Knott's berry boysenberry. I said very boysen. We are both
Very pleased.
we and I are both operating with very little sleep. His flight came. We got home maybe 2ish in the morning from picking him up at the airport. So yeah, we're and it's late in the afternoon now. So we are
Yes.
yeah. But Mike, why don't you tell us a bit about the Boysenberry Festival, and I'll kind of maybe show some pictures while you
Sure.
discuss the wonder.
I'll shut up.
So I didn't get to go the first weekend to Boysenberry Festival, but I did get to go the second weekend, which was it was 2 weekends ago now. And my wife Tori came with me, and she got to eat a lot of the foods, and I got to take pictures of them. And we posted a bunch of photos. There's a new show called Knott's Preserved that is sort of a musical history of Knott's Berry Farm, and we've got a full video of that up on YouTube. There's lots of merchandise to go with the Boysenberry Festival theme. There's a Snoopy plush, and they have a t-shirt and pin combo. That's always a good deal over there at Knott's. What else? An umbrella.
I like that.
I know Doobie would love that umbrella thing, but I was going to show some food. Anything in particular you remember your lovely wife appreciating?
Yeah, she really liked. I'm trying to remember. There was like a barbecue. Oh, I know. See, okay, this is the kind of thoughtful person that Tori is. She took her favorite item, which was barbecue chicken on mac and cheese. I'm sure we got a picture of it in there somewhere. And because she knows I couldn't eat it at the park, the next day she made it for me at home, like a homemade version of it, which was incredibly thoughtful. But yeah, I think it was called
Wow. And
yeah.
And when you did your best day ever, you didn't even remember your marriage. That's amazing.
Why you gotta remind me of that?
Sorry. Cool. And this is one I know Notch does a few little things like this. Is this one that you like quite a bit?
Well, the focus on food is tough for me because I can't eat any of it. I think that was it. That's that barbecue chicken on top of mac and cheese it's got like a boysenberry drizzle. It all looks very delicious. Tori said it was all very good. I think I had one drink that I could consume without getting sick. But yeah, when it's something like that is so heavily focused on food, it's tough for me to really get the full enjoyment out of it. Although I did like the show quite a bit. It's a really kind of like classic, almost kind of Broadway style musical show. It's only half an hour or whatever, but I think they did a really good job with that. Reminded me of the ice skating shows that they do for Christmas time.
Anything else you wanted to mention about, or just what's going on at Knott's in general?
Doobie, we've lost your audio's gone kind of wonky again, so you may want to try muting and unmuting yourself again.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, you're just kind of crackly.
You're crackly.
All right, I'm gonna just.
You're there. You're just crackly.
I'll be back in a moment.
Yeah, they have on the Calico Mine stage. They have fun and games for kids, and they had that pie eating contest that we saw Jeremiah had participated in. Then over in this area is called Boysenberry Lane, and this was it was actually a backstage area for a long time, and then they turned it into on stage area, and it's where they sell boysenberry plants now, and they have some carnival style games there, and that's where you go and meet Whittles, he's the prospector character that we saw earlier. There's his backdrop there. And then over in Camp Snoopy, we saw earlier, there's Easter decorations that are up now with
Ooh, I'll
a
scroll
bunch
down
of
quick for those.
yeah.
Thank you
Oh,
for
this
the
is
fun.
fun too. This art show in the Knott's Berry Tales gift shop, and it's called Tied Up in Knots, and it's just a lot of different artists came together and paid tribute to the history and attractions and characters of Knott's Berry Farm. They've been doing this for years now, and it's different every year, all new art every year. So that's very cool to check out. And then yeah, in Camp Snoopy, it was Easter time. There you go.
Oh, cool. Was
Uppity
the
hop.
Easter? I haven't been to Nuts during Easter time. Was this decor new, or are these kind of things that we have seen in years past and just kind of making their annual debut appearance?
Most of it was returning. I don't remember those carrots before,
Okay.
so those might have been new. I know I've seen the Easter bunnies and the lambs before, and the eggs.
Oh, so cute. Super awesome.
Hey, is my audio clear now?
Yeah.
Yes.
So while I was at Epcot, I overheard this family. It was really cute. This little child, I think it was a little girl, probably like 4 years old, tell their mom, Easter. No, say, what do they say? They say bunnies. Bunnies hop. Bunnies are known for hopping. And the mom goes, "Yes, hopping is one of two things bunnies are known for." And I thought that was cute. This is cute because it's with the kid, and I think there was a dad there too, and like a little wink thing.
They're also known for batteries, promoting.
I think that's what she meant. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like this. It's a floaty toy.
Like a rubber duckling, but it's a Woodstock.
Because
That's
then you
cute.
got this. See?
Yeah.
It's like one of those games where you pick it up and you have a winning dot on the bottom.
That's cool.
But yeah, there you go.
$20. Well, Steve, but that's cool. And then, Mike, were you also? Was it WonderCon that you were at?
Yeah. So I did WonderCon this past Friday. I didn't go over the weekend because I needed a little bit of a break here before London, but I did. I was there all day Friday, and I just wandered around and took photos of anything interesting or Disney related that I saw. There was some cool Kang cosplay. This is my friend Christine. I ran into her. She was dressed as Pirate Red, so that was cool. And then I saw a bunch of Marvel and Star Wars cosplay that I posted photos of. There was some cool booths.
What's that?
What's what?
This one?
Yeah.
Oh, that's Khonshu from Moon Knight.
Oh, okay. I'll explain it.
Yeah, that's too wacky for Doobie, so he didn't stick around when it came
okay.
to Moon Knight. So he's not that.
Dude,
Woo!
it's very straight up. Oh yeah, that's Disney.
It
Love
is Disney now, yes.
And as Gio points out, the Bob Gurr Funko was unveiled.
That's
didn't know about
crazy.
Yeah,
That
I
is
know.
crazy.
I can't believe that he's going to be a Funko. So yeah, woohoo! Lots of content from Mike. Mike, what in particular should you tell people to be sure and check your article out to spot, aside from the amazing cosplay and things like that?
From WonderCon? Let's see. There were a couple other booths that I visited. I didn't go to any panels because there just wasn't anything really happening on Friday that we felt. I went through it with Benji. There wasn't really much.
Yeah.
But just anything that was Disney, I checked out and took photos of, but nothing really major, I would say. WonderCon doesn't have the huge studio involvement the way that San Diego Comic-Con does.
Okay.
So it's really, in a way, it's quieter, it's simpler, it's more accessible than San Diego Comic-Con. So if you just want to go and get a taste of what a moderately sized comic book convention is like these days, or geek, I call it like a geek culture convention because only a small part of it is about actual comics, but it's just cool to walk around and take in the sights and get a taste of people's enthusiasm and all the cool cosplay. That's what I would recommend about it.
Was Comic Con like this when it started, before it got off, or
Oh
was it
yeah,
always the big? Okay.
yeah. I would say probably 20 plus years ago. That's kind of what Comic Con was like in San Diego. So
Comic Con launched around the same time that NFFC, well, the Disney and a Fan Club
Right.
now, it started. They started right around the same time frame.
Yeah, I remember that. That it just was. I thought Comic Con used to be a much more, it
I
evolved into the giant thing it's become today.
And if memory serves, our local comic book shop, Flying Comics, is one of the considered kind of one of the founders, grandfathers, kind of that dynamic of that now mega event.
Biggest geek event of the year every year, which is saying something because there's a lot of geeks in this world.
Yeah.
Cool. Thanks, Mike. What else, Rebecca?
I guess as we kind of wrap up, just some quick hits here. Let you know that the Disney 100 Munich installation is coming along, and of course there'll be some parks-related items there. So if you are over in Germany, be sure to check out this article on the dates that it'll be there. Later this week, in fact, I want to say, let me scroll down, March 31st. Hong Kong Disneyland is planning a big celebration and is going to be live streaming it. So be sure to check out the article for more on that. And dates have been announced, select packages for Halloween Horror Nights. Also, at Universal Orlando, we've got continuing construction on the VillainCon Minion Blast over there at Universal Studios, Florida. So these are items that you can find out more about over on Laughing Place.
I like that segment. That reminds me of how you guys close out Barely Necessities. We need to keep that segment. Rebecca does, and the rest.
And the rest.
Cool. Okay, so do I get to talk a little bit about Disney Dreamers Academy?
Uh-huh.
So I was in Florida Thursday to Sunday because the Disney Dreamers Academy event was going on, and I got to cover it as media. Thank you, Disney, very much for hosting me. So what this is Disney each year, this has been going on for a couple of decades, selects 100 children, high school age children, to be dreamers from all disciplines. It could be arts, it could be science, it could be law, marketing, all disciplines. All very impressive young people, and brings them to Disney World and basically gives them some intensive instruction, both as a group and in smaller groups within their discipline, with people both inside and outside of Disney who are the experts in the field to help them get a leg up, as well as for the networking opportunities. And like I said, it lasts Thursday through Saturday with finally a commencement on Sunday morning. It's kind of emotional time as well. As media, we got to be there for some of the breakfasts and lunches and some of the breakout sessions to see what they're going through. And I mean, it's a great event. It's really, really cool to see Disney putting this out there, and you can see the money that's spent on this. This is a huge event. There are corporate sponsors, Delta, AT&T, State Farm. There are big corporate sponsors, but no doubt this costs so much money. And ultimately, it's for these 100 kids. And I'm sure they appreciate what was, the opportunities they got. So I'm just going to show just a little bit of some of the stuff that happened here. I don't know why my window got closed, so give me a second to present again. But this young lady, her name is Jada Stewart, so I wanted to make sure I showed just a little bit of her. It's funny how they do this. They gave us the bios for all 100 children, and you could choose up to 10 that you wanted to interview. So I chose 3. Jada, I chose her because she wanted to be a pilot. That was among her things. She wanted to be a pilot and an Imagineer. And so 2 things I love, flying and Imagineering. So chose her. She was just, okay, let's hear just a moment of Jada.
And then I found a mentor, and he's a pilot.
Cool, and that's your goal, is to be a commercial pilot? And I also saw you want to be an Imagineer?
Yes.
You think those 2 things can go together?
I think so.
Yeah. Any idea how you might use being a pilot as an Imagineer?
Well, when you become a pilot, you meet a bunch of different people and you go to a bunch of different places,
Yeah.
which is another thing I would like to do. And being a pilot, you get to see things from a different perspective, which is really awesome. Because I love being in the air and then just looking down and everything looks like tinier. And it's interesting because land, it looks like it's in like different patterns, like a quilt. And I think that's really cool.
And I loved Jada. She was so much fun to talk to. And then at the end, I asked her about her ears, which that was very cute too. So anyway, so like I said, some of the people that they got to get instruction from, her, who is, I'm sure you guys know better than I, but a really well-known singer. She also played Belle in the recent Beauty and the Beast on TV, was there, and they did not know she was going to be there. So hearing the singers talk about her walking into the room, oh my goodness. I hate that I can never remember her name, but the young actress on Blackish, the youngest one, Rebecca will look up the name. Yeah, yes, exactly. Yes, who was only 18 years old, so she's only a couple years older than these people, than these youngsters. So hearing her talk about mentoring them and how she can have kind of a different connection with them because she's basically their age. And then the celebrity ambassador this year is, because her duties will continue throughout the year, is Halle Bailey, who is Ariel in The Little Mermaid, and she gave two great speeches. One when she was first introduced as a celebrity ambassador, and then a second when she, as basically the culmination on Saturday night, she gave a wonderful. I'm sorry, not Saturday, on Sunday, the commencement, gave a wonderful speech talking about not only the great side of what she's accomplished, but the tough side because she's faced. She talked about how when she got selected to be the Little Mermaid, to be Ariel, how excited she was, and this was like, just such a great moment for her career, and all of a sudden, not everyone is as thrilled as she is, and that hurt, and it was difficult, and all the animosity, but it's something that she, used to, as she put it, the people that are important to her, the family, friends, the people that she needs to listen to help her get through that, and really inspirational moment for me, let alone, I'm sure, for these 100 dreamers that were there. So if you're interested in that speech, and I do think you might appreciate it, Kyle, you jerk. I do think you might appreciate it. Here's a link to the YouTube of her speech. And like I said, she talks about Little Mermaid there. Clearly, she was not there. This isn't, I'm sure it's related to while she was chosen, but she was not there to promote Little Mermaid. She was there to help these kids, and hearing them and hearing her, it's clear that she did that. But her relating to them via the Little Mermaid was really, really interesting. And we also were able to get another interview with her while she was. They had a moment where the kids got to do a pre-parade before the main parade on Friday, and then after that we had the opportunity to interview her. So we have that interview on our site as well. It was a round robin, so it wasn't just us, but a little bit better video there, and you get a look at her and to listen to her. And again, just really interesting to hear the kind of advice she gives to them. And I got to ask her a question, so I was very happy about that. Let's see what else we had there. As I said, there was a pre-parade where they all marched down. And I mean, these are 100 kids that have not necessarily been to Disney World before. I would guess many of them, they're from all over the country, many of them have never been to Disney World before. And so to see the excitement on their faces of being there, of being in the parade, please watch that parade video. The excitement from them being in the pre-parade is so awesome. And after the parade, they had to make their way over to the interview location, but the interviews couldn't actually start until the parade was over. And so it was really fun just seeing some of them want to go watch the parade. Yay, I'm here, I'm a dreamer, this is about me. But I am at Disney World and I want to go watch the parade and see some of the staff take them over to see that. And it was really cool. And I got to see them ride Tron and various points just walking around the park and seeing the dream. They always have their purple shirts on. So you definitely notice them. And then at the last day with the commencement, they got to dress up for that. So it's fun to see them dressed up instead of in the same purple shirts you've seen for the past 3 days. I didn't know what to expect. Go ahead, sorry.
Oh no, and among the things that really, that caught my eye was that you when you were telling me, I shouldn't say caught my eye, that you told me about that, was like, that's cool, is there's the mentorship opportunity that happens, and they break out into these smaller group collaboration activities with these mentors, right? If I'm explaining it incorrectly, jump in.
Exactly.
And then that culminates into them sharing their projects or what they've come up with the rest of the dreamers. So you had those who maybe were more of a performance side, who the singers, the filmmakers, they would be sharing their projects, but then you'd also be hearing from the lawyers who had done these mock trials, or it's just super cool. And they even got like training regarding how you dress, and they did some makeovers. They gave them tips on like social media dynamics. It was really an immersive, intense weekend, but then also with this immense fun of Disney. So super cool. I mean, just wow.
Yeah, you mentioned I did not see the Saturday events, but you mentioned, but someone from LP did cover them, Luke, and you mentioned the fashion makeover. You know, it's interesting. They talk not just about the academics, they talk about the branding. I mean, the number of times I heard the word "your brand," and so how you present yourself as a part of that. And then also the social media. They actually broke them into teams and had social media contests where the winner got, with the most engagement was the winner of the social media contest. So. And then I definitely want to mention that George Kalogridis, congratulations, George Kalogridis. So they introduced him as someone who has been a quiet supporter of this program, who never looks for the spotlight, but has been a quiet supporter of the program forever, and he's now retiring. So they gave him the Hero of the Year. He's a former president of Walt Disney World, so that was really nice actually to see that. And then, so you mentioned I can't believe I'm on the verge of crying. I only cried once at the whole event. I'm not going to cry right now. That's really funny. You mentioned the Saturday night thing where the people came up and presented what they learned. One of the really cool ones, I think it actually was the final one, if I'm remembering right, was, here, I'm just going to cue up a video real quick. So the final one, I think, was... her name was Maria Mayoni. Mayone. I'm going to say Mayoni. I'm sorry if I'm getting it wrong. Her name was Maria Mayoni. And she signed a really incredible performance to close out that event. It was beautiful. And then the next day, they presented the Dreamer of the Year as voted on by the other, by the 100 Dreamers. And she was named the Dreamer of the Year. And she comes up, and everyone is going like this to applaud for her. And it was really cool. So, I'm sorry, what an idiot. So that was, I'm just glad I got to go to this event. I think I'm going to stop there.
Yeah, no, it was, it clearly hit Doobie in the feels. I know he hates that word, trying to bust him up. But yeah, it was, I think in part because these kids are very close in age to our own son. So just to see young people be acknowledged in this way and supported in this way
and loved in this way is so important. Such a big deal. They talk about the parents. There were parents there. There were parents and chaperones, and I'm not sure if parents were chaperones, honestly, or if they separated them out. But the parents were there, and one of the things they did on the commencement, the very last day, two things. One, they said, turn around to your parent and give them a hug and say thank you for helping you get to this point. And then they gave them all rings. That's kind of their commencement, as a ring. So they had the rings get into all the parents' hands, and then the parents would put the ring on the child and give them a hug. It was great. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm really going to stop now. I can't believe I'm crying.
Wow.
There's something about being a parent and seeing a parent and a child's love, and then seeing the love back from the child to the parent and the appreciation. Children aren't always the most appreciative people in the world for what you do to them, which is fine. That's just a part of life. So when you see it, when they look at you and say, "Wow, look what I just got to do. Thank you, Mom. Thank you, Dad." So anyway.
So yeah.
It was a nice event.
So as Disney fans, it is really super awesome to see that company that you kind of, entertains you and you give money to and you get entertained by, to see what they're doing to support these young people was incredible, and we greatly appreciate the invitation. And
thank you, Disney.
As fans, super proud that the company that we adore so much is making these kinds of moves and in supporting young people in this way. And so greatly appreciate it. And these young people, I'm so thankful that because of this event, we've learned about the young people that that are going out there and accomplishing these things. And yeah, so check out the interviews that we have. Check out the footage that we have here on Laughing Place. It'll pick up your day. It'll bring a smile, and it'll just be one more additional thing to love about this company that has brought us so much joy over the years too. So yeah.
Extremely
By the
well
way,
put.
I got chocolates. Look at that.
Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you I got you those. I'm glad you
Yeah.
saw them. That's from me, not the DDA, by the
Oh
way.
really?
Yes.
You bought these for me?
Yes, I did.
Oh, super cool. Yeah. No, I was unpacking Doobie's suitcase, and I was like, there's these yummy, look at these. They've got like little mice on them and stuff. Super
They're
cool.
very cute. Yeah, I was trying to find something
This
for
is
you when I went to
solid
Disney
chocolate.
Springs. I couldn't find anything in Disney Springs, so then I saw this at the hotel, and I'm like, that's what I'm gonna get her.
Oh, seriously? Oh, that's really
Yeah.
funny. Yeah. No, I was excited. I thought it was part of your, like,
Yeah.
thank you for coming package. Wow, my husband actually bought me a gift. It's even
What do you mean,
better.
actually?
I'm joking. By the way, you see how Kyle was trying to lighten the mood? Play the DVC theme song, quick.
Thanks for joining us, folks. Thanks a lot, Mike, for sitting through all this. Not
Sure.
laughing too hard. Thanks, Rebecca. Hope Jeremiah's having a good time on vacation. We'll be back tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. for Tuesday is always the big day. We've got Disney Morning Show at 9 a.m. We've got Barely Necessities with Becca and Rebecca at 4 p.m. And then we've got Disney Trivia Live tomorrow at 7:30 p.m. So can't wait to see you then. Until then, bye-bye. Gotta remember to find the video before I say goodbye.